Morning all, Richard Smaller, Evolve Baits, and you join me on Saturday the 1st of May on a very cold, frosty, bright morning. Something totally different today. You can see I'm in the van, just about to drive to Burton Farm Fishery in Nuneaton, I think it is, near Coventry. I'm going there to fish a charity match. So I've seen the complex before, but today I'm going to be going to fish a brand new lake. Excellent again, going to fish a new venue. Absolutely love going to fish these new venues. So I think there's about 60 of us there. Going to set off. It's about 6 o'clock. Get you there. I've drawn peg 26, means absolutely nothing to me. I don't even know what the lake looks like. So get there, show you the lake, show you my peg, and I'll talk to you about how I'm going to go about the match. So fingers crossed, have a really good day. Most important thing though, charity match, raise loads of money for the two charities. Speak to you later. So I just arrived at Burton Farm, and this is the lake we'll be fishing today. So it's newly dug here at Burton Farm, you see. So it looks relatively new at the moment, but in a few years this will be absolutely stunning. I think this is where they've got the junior national this year. I've drawn peg 26. We're not 100% sure where it is yet. We're not allowed on the water yet, but we think it's probably down in the right hand corner, so probably the furthest walk. A few fish topping, a few fish moving. We think bream are going to fish it. It's just how it responds with the sheer amount of people on it today. So get to my peg and we'll redo it from there. So it's 5 minutes ago, started the match. As I said, I'm on peg 26 on I think it's called Redwood Lake. I'll cut you across to the water. This is the Redwood Lake. This is peg 26, so I'm in the bottom corner. I think we've got two lads here to my left, so every peg's in. It's a brand new venue. The main problem is there's loads and loads of weed, so it's about 5-6 foot deep, but everybody, certainly this part of the lake I think is the older part of the lake, and there's just weed everywhere. I've spent about 20-30 minutes plumbing up and I can't really find anywhere without any weed. You can get the float in, so it's not all bad. So I'm going to fish two lines effectively, 13 metres for the resident bream, and they've put a load and load of little F1s in at about 2 ounces. Try and catch those on the whip at about 5 metres. So across my rigs, set up sort of 3 identical rigs really. I've got 0.12 to Drennan SF2. All bolt Olivets. I've got 2 with Olivets and some with a split bolt that I can obviously alter down to a 20 and size 18 on the worm fishing the aqua. And then I've got my Acolyte Pro whip as well, and I've just set that up on the 4 metre section. Yeah, so 4 metres to hand effectively. Again, 0.12 down to a 0.1. Again, I've gone for 0.5 gram rigs here just to try and get it down. I'm going to fish a 20 and 22 on those. Across the bait, typical bream venue effectively. Got worm, caster, bit of maggot, a bit of pinky, bit of dead maggot, and a bit of Evolve Baits 2mm pellet as well. So I'm going to fish 2 different ground baits. I'm going to fish out at the 13 metre line, cutting across. I've got Sweet Fish Meal Black and Terre de Somme. So I'm just going to put this in, almost cup it in really. I've got a little bit of PCN in there as well. I'm not going to try and loose feed really. I'm just going to try and get everything down. And on the other line I've got River and Drain, and I'm just going to put that in sort of little nuggets. So coming up to about 3 or 4 minutes to start the match now. Get the phone set up. As I said, going to start short, probably go on to the long line for about half an hour. Got a feeling it's going to be very, very hard with all these pegs in, and we'll see how we get on. So the weather today, you can see it's flat calm, very little wind in the air. I think it's just going to be bright sunshine 1 minute, raining the next by the look of things. Said I've spent ages putting around. I haven't really got a clear spot. I've got one tiny little spot where that's the start of it. One tiny little spot that's slightly less weedy than the others. no bites so far. I think when people have been pleasure fishing down here, they've been doing this sort of method on the whip, but I think in the match it's just going to be totally different, and I'm not convinced it's going to work at all. So you're just putting in tiny little nuggets. We're 3 hours into the match, back with me, and the whole lake is looking rock solid, to be fair. Just weed absolutely everywhere. Myself and lad Rich next to me, we've caught steadily, to be fair. I've had a lucky bream, about £5, and maybe about 3-4 pound of little silverfish, a lot of little chub. Rich next to me's had a few skimmers. There's 1 or 2 other bream being caught, but there's a lot of people across the lake just struggling for bites. I wish I brought the waggler with me, that's for sure. There's definitely a lot of fish up in the water. I'm catching the odd one on the pole, but they back off. So just rotating. I haven't had anything on the inside line on the work at all, just rotating lines between sort of 13 metre on the worm, as I said, and I'm getting the odd fish on the worm, and then I've got a number 2 elastic with a strung out rig fishing shallow about 4 deep, catching up in the water. But I said I wish I had the waggler when we could do it properly. I think it's going to be a relatively low weight affair. I've got a feeling 15 or 20 pound will be a huge weight today. As I said, everyone was expecting catching the whip close in, and it just hasn't really happened, certainly on our side of the lake. I haven't seen anyone catching it at all. It's frustrating because there's certainly a lot of fish in here. It's just so much weed. It's getting the rig in is just so difficult. So it takes quite a while to get a bite on the worm, but when you do get a bite, slightly better fish, with a few on the dead maggot. I'm catching lots of these chub. I guess about 4 ounces. Chopping and changing all the time, switching out double casting now. Just trying to get those bream really. The carp haven't fed anywhere. Shame, because there's a little bit less, we catch a lot of fish, I think. Really hard to get the feeding right today though. You just don't know how much to feed, you know. Don't know whether these chub are just smashing it to bits and they're taking everything you need to feed more, but you know, you're not getting a massive amount of bites on the bottom, so you're very reluctant to feed. striking, lifting the pole up, trying to get them straight out of that weed. So back on me, 20 minutes to go, and it's fair to say the last hour and a half has been rock hard for absolutely everyone. So I've probably got about 12 pound, I think. Led next to me's got a little bit more than that. And then there's one lad opposite who's had 3 big reams, so he's probably the out and out winner. And a load of people packing up now. Somebody on peg 2, I think, has caught some skimmers, so we'll just have to see. I think they're paying 3 and some section money as well, so I'll obviously weigh. We've got one of the higher weights on the lake, I know that. But it's just gone really hard. Can't generate any baits for bites. It's flat calm. It doesn't matter if you put maggot, pinky, worm, anything on. You just can't get a bite now anywhere. No fish to be had up in the water. So the 2 lads to my left have packed up. Bite developing there, actually. First bite in ages. Earlier on, them actually could generate bites, lifting and dropping. It's just nothing like that now at all. Tiny little fish, and I mean tiny. Not worth catching really. Little perch. Kind of sums it up really when all the catching. Little perch. Thing is, the chub we were catching, they stopped feeding earlier on, and as soon as they stopped feeding, it was game over really. There's so few bream caught. I said, luckily I'm one of the people who has caught one, but they just haven't fed. We always thought there was going to be hardly this many people on it on a new lake. Gotta be inch perfect putting that float in, otherwise said it just gets hung up on the weed. Yeah, nice interesting day nonetheless. Just had a feeling it was going to fish hard. A lot of these new waters can't take the pressure, but it's got a lot of potential. I think as soon as the weed dies, I said they put a dye in the water to get rid of it. And if we could get rid of all that weed, I think it'll be an absolutely cracking venue, to be fair. And give it time, give it a year or two, I think it'll be brilliant. Certainly come back and have a look. So 10 minutes to go. I had a few more little fish. I'm just out and out on the worm the last 10 minutes now. So I think what I'm going to do, a lot of people packing up. I think I'll probably definitely finish in the top 5, I would suspect. So I'll just turn the camera off and then hopefully get a picture later on, or video later on of weighing in.
Twenty-two, 22.55.
All right.
Then we've got the second, £1.35. So, the overall winner, £300, and a weight of 29.25 is Ian Jennings.
Go on, lad! That's 150 for you, innit?
So, end of a Burton Farm charity match, and as you saw from the video, I've ended up with £22.5, about £10 more than I thought I'd had. So the chub have obviously weighed a hell of a lot more than, it's quite a lot of people out. Every lad next to me thought he had £10, he's weighed 20. I thought I had 11, 12, and I weighed 22, so the chub have obviously really weighed. So I ended up third in the match, which was good. My Evolve teammate Ian Jennings won the match with £29, so brilliant to Ian. So yeah, really good day, really enjoyed it. As I said, the venue's got definitely got potential, and look forward to coming back. So great day out, and hope you've enjoyed watching, and see you again. Cheers, bye.